cost of living is one of the biggest concerns with the electorate. In 2016 or 17, I can't remember the year, but they increased the water tariffs, and the ministers came and promised us that the price of kopi siew dai is not going to go up, but it went up from I think 90 cents or 95 cents to $1.30 today. The cost for public transport has gone up. So when the government increased the price, they said the fares, they said that oil prices went up, so they need to increase the fares. But when crude oil prices dipped, we don't see a fall in transport fares. They say they've got other costs to manage. So there seems to be, we are always on the getting the short end of the stick, the receiving end, if I can put it that way. HDB lease decaying. People who have bought their flats for $1 million, they find that the lease is running out, and they find that the HDB flat is actually a depreciating asset. So if you go back to my dad's story of buying a HDB at 32,000, he was able to sell it at 10 times of the price that he bought. But in today's context, if you buy a flat for $1 million, you're not going to sell it for $10 million. You're not going to see that kind of returns on investment. Government's policy in the past has been to create wealth for the citizens through asset enhancement scheme. So the HDB flat becomes the main asset. It becomes an asset that they can sell during retirement or at about during their golden age, and get a lump sum and make good. So my father's generation, of course, benefited from that. My generation, if I sell a HDB flat, I'm in negative equity because I will lose money out of it. It will be worse for you guys because you are like 1 or 2 generations behind. So that would mean that you're already buying flats that are highly priced, or very $500,000. You're not going to see 10 times return on your flats. But we find that as your leases are running out, because you find that it's harder to actually sell. So the other problem is with the CPF. So CPF, it was originally designed by the British government as a laissez-faire. So you have employers and employees contributing to CPF. And you look at the different superannuation or retirement plans out there, or schemes and government supporting people during their golden age. The government does actively support and contribute for people's retirement. Today we have old people going out and selling tissue papers, walking around in cardboards and carting around and stuff like that. So that's something that we really want to look at. And if you look at Singapore's demographic, it's an aging population. By 2030, you have more old people than young people. So with an aging population, it puts a lot of strain on both the government's coffers and what we need to do and address as a society. And some of those things need to be addressed now, because we can't afford to have a large segment of our population underserved and left out in the cold. I'm very concerned about other issues like accountability, transparency, and independence. And these are 3 broad areas. So in terms of the size of our reserves, nobody actually knows. The government gives us some big ballpark numbers, but $100 billion has been drawn from, has been allocated for this budget. I think out of which 50 over billion has been drawn from the reserves. We don't know what the balance is. So the government is touting that there's a lot of money left. We're not sure. So unless there's proper accountability, we're not able to plan effectively for all the things that I've listed before this.